All right. Baraka, first of all, I want to start by saying Baraka the Yahweh, Baraka the Yahushua, Baraka the Yahweh, Baraka the Yahushua, Baraka the Yahweh, Baraka the Yahushua, Baraka the Yahweh, Baraka the Yahushua. Call Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Reka, Kodash, double honors, Pastor Elders, Great Millstone, Lunaties, well, peace, salutations to all y'all in four corners of the earth. I'm Yaquab from YSO, or Yaquab from YSO, Yahushua Sanctified Ones, whichever way you want to say it. Coming to you with this video about the mockery and afflictions of our nation, right? The nation of Israel, the true Israelites, the real Israelites, the Negro, Latino, Native American, Seminole Indians, okay, and uh, and 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 all the Israelites that look like the heathen nations, right? But the mockery of our people that we've been through all through history, and just going back to some quick as the 1800s, because in the 1800s they used to use these bells. They used to use the bells to catch slaves, right? The slave bell, all that Liberty Bell and all that bullshit. But the bells was really originated to catch runaway slaves, and and in the early 1800s it was real big. They was really using them to where they would put them around, as you see in this picture. They would put around Jake's neck, you know, and anytime you have a runaway slave, they run away, it start jingling, jingling. So everywhere they ran, it was hard for them to escape. And also, they would get caught on trees, branches, bushes, and when they would be running, so many different types of these slave collars, and these was what ones with the bells. Plus, they would get caught up in the trees. So as they would be running, they would get hung up. Their necks would get jolted. Some would break their necks and different stuff. They would get caught up in the trees and hung up, so the slave catcher can catch them. Right. So Esau invented this shit for us, for our people. But the point to this is that about the Jingle Bell song. So not too long after using these slave bells, this genius, Pierre Point, or whatever his name is, and he also go back to J.P. Morgan. I think he's the uncle of J.P. Morgan. We'll go back to the bank, J.P. Morgan and Chase. So all you niggas that like to go bank with J.P. Morgan, his father was slave catchers. His ancestors go back to the men who put these slave collars and jingle bells on you, so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans' necks, and auctioned your asses off on the market like they got Black Friday today, right? But all right, so everything goes back to something. Everything has a meaning in this world, especially when it comes to Esau. So your song Jingle Bells, right? It's one of those songs goes back to slavery. It goes back to the slaving of you Negroes, mainly you Negroes, right? Latino, Native American, because we all were being enslaved. But it goes back to the transatlantic slave trade. It goes back to the hardships of our people the from the 1600s on up. Okay, 1400s, late 1400s, early 1500s on up. Okay, going through slavery and the different contraptions they used to use to put us in these hardships. But they will make songs of these things. It's just like what's that Star Spangled Banner? You go down, you read. I think it's like the third verse. You read the third verse. They only think through the first verse, but you go down to the third verse, and you'll find it starts talking about the hireling and the slave, right? So you see they start talking about your affliction, about your persecution. They won't read that part because they don't want you to know it. They hide it. They try to hide everything, just like they try to hide this about Jingle Bells, the origination of the song. The original point of the song was to talk about how the slaves were being caught by these slave collars, and they would ring and jingle so the slave master can catch them. But let me play this right quick, and I'm gonna go into a couple scriptures.
That is the original of the song called Jingle Bells. The one horizontal side by J. Pierpont. It's all about the color with bells around the necks of the slaves. So the owners could hear when they were trying to flee. You could visit this bells at the museum. So it's not a Christmas song for kids. You should read more about James Pierpont. The next time you should think twice before singing this song called Jingle Bells. But when Those poor people were trying to flee, and the owners heard the sound coming off the jingle bells. They searched after them on one horizontal sleigh. Now you know and understand the origin of the song called Jingle Bells on the one horizontal sleigh by Jingle Bells. That is the origin of the song called Jingle Bells on one horizontal sleigh by J. Pierpont. It's all about the color with bells around the necks of the sleigh. So the owners could hear when they were trying to flee. You could visit these bells at the Boot Museum. So it is not a Christmas song for kids. You should read more about James Pierpont. The next time you should think twice before singing this song called Jingle Bells.
Okay, so right there, you got the blackface, the minstrel show. The first Jingle Bells was it was a part of what you would call a minstrel show. It would be a bunch of Edomites dressed up in blackface doing all these different type of racist songs. These making light, making fun, and making mockery of slavery, making mockery of our people, and having a good fun, a good kick about the way they say that we act, the way that we're supposed to be, the way oh, got your boss, I'm gonna kill him. Oh, run! Oh, here come the massa! Run, run! Massa coming! Massa run! They do all these different fucking minstrel shows, and you go look it up for yourself what minstrel shows are. You'll see the circuit. It was a big ass circuit. But this guy, James Pierre, he first had his Jingle Bell song. It was actually done on a minstrel cycle. So they had it for the minstrel shows. They was doing this song and that you so-called Negro, Latinos, Native Americans grew up on, all your life, and you don't really know what you're doing. You don't know what you're singing. You don't know what you're believing in. You don't, you're listening to these lies, and you're repeating them to your own people, your own self, and you're making a mockery of yourself. You're laughing at your own affliction, right? The so-called white man has laughed at us, for hundreds of years now. 500 years he's had a great 500 plus years now. He's had a great, great laugh every day, right? We sing these songs in school and class. We sing them with force. Our children sing them, and they've been singing them, and they've been reacting these different reenactments that will go back to these minstrel shows. And this guy, James Pierre, his name was James Lord Pierre Point, right? And you go, like I say, you go back. He goes back to one of the J.P. Morgan's Chase, right? J.P. Morgan. He go back to them, or one of them is his nephew, J.P. John something whatever Pierre uh, Morgan, right? He goes back to this guy, right? Their family, and it just shows you that who the so-called white man is and how he really feels to think of you. And he'll feed you a bunch of shit that this was about Christmas, and then the song was never even before Christmas. It was like I said, it was a fun song for them to sing and do it in blackface, and for them it was in their entertainment, and then they also was using it, and it was something that was used for Thanksgiving. So it wasn't even originally for what you so-called would call Christmas. It was for a way for them to make light at the so-called black man and have fun and laugh at the type of way what they would think or how they perceived us, right? The way that the so-called white man perceived us it was the whole point. But hold on, let me go here. I want to read something right quick. This is I just was looking this up on the Wikipedia. In 1853, Pierre Point had published new minstrel compositions in Boston, among them Kitty Cow, dedicated to W. McKim, and the colored quote, a minstrel song published by Oliver Dixon. Right. So he had these minstrel songs that he was making fun or making light of Jake of Israel in these different songs. And they would dress up, like I say, as Israelites, as so-called black men and black women, and they would do these songs, and they would, go on the what you used to call the chitlin circuit, but which they rephrased later as a chitlin circuit. But before it was the minstrel songs. Okay. In 1854, Pierre composed the songs "Ring the Bell," "Fanny" for George Knuckles. Right. So all these different songs that he made were to make light at Jake, to have fun, and to to mock you, so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans. And these songs, a lot of people still sing today and don't know what they're singing. Okay, so he has multiple songs, right, that he had made for on a what you call the Chitlin circuit, or for the Chitlin circuit, or you call, well, which became the Chitlin circuit, but before was the minstrel circuit. Okay, then so but Jingle Bells was an original. It was originally a minstrel song. It was originally released on uh, uh, the minstrel circuit, right? So let me read this. In August 1857, his song "The One Horse Open Sleigh" or Jingle Bells was published by Oliver Dixon and Company of 277 Washington Street Boulevard, dedicated to John P. Ordway. The song was copyrighted on September the 16th, 1857. The song was originally performed in a Sunday school concert on Thanksgiving in Savannah, Georgia. Although it has been claimed that Pierre Point wrote it in Medford, Massachusetts in 1850 and 1859, it was re-released with the title Jingle Bells or the One Horse Open Sleigh. The song was not a hit as Pierre Point had originally published it. The original lyrics to the song "One Horse Open Sleigh," okay, boom, boom, 1957. All right, it came out. Let me see. There was something else I want to get here up when it was. Okay, I want to let me before I bring that out. Let me just go here. This is tells about Jingle Bells, and it's tell about James Pierre. He was a composer. Let me see. Okay, here you go. Son of the noted Boston reformer, Reverend John Pierre. He was the brother of Reverend John Pierre Point, Jr., minister of the church, and uncle of financier. Okay, so he was the uncle of financier John Pierre Point Morgan, right? J.P. Morgan Chase, right? So, you know, these devils made light of our affliction, and they still to this day, right, we're being used. We built their country off of our backs, whether even it's off the physical hard labor that our people had to go through, the mockery, the affliction, the foolery, the fuckery, the coonery, the everything we had to go through, all of our afflictions, and they made light of it, and they made millions of it. They made money off of it. They made, they had banks, the banking system, everything. When this country, it comes off the backs of the so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans. Okay, right here it says, hold on, um, where's that one? It tells where Salakia. Damn, I lost it. It tells where about the song being originally. Uh, but anyway, but that's not the point. But the point is what I'm saying. So let me go here. It was one more thing. Let me before I go to the scriptures. I just want to find one more. All you gotta do is look up his name as James Lord Pierre Point, Pierre Point, uh, and all the information you can get about all these songs that he did and conducted, and they were put on as minstrel shows. There was let me Salakia. Let me get, where's this? No, that's not it. Salakia. Bear with me. Let me get. I'm trying to. Okay, it was these bells, and the point at the Bullock, Texas State History Museum, and they have them actual bells. Now these bells were made in the 1800s, right? They originally came about in the early 1800s. This song was put out in 1857. As we know, true to this day, that uh, there's always something that when these guys do these songs, different music, there's something that ignites a feeling. There's always a reason behind the things that people do. It's something that inspires them, right? So he was inspired to write this song by slave catching, right? and that was the inspiration of it. The inspiration of it came from the afflictions. It came from the hell that was put upon our people. Okay, and you go back, you can look up this called the Bullock, Texas State History Museum. It shows these bells, the Liberty Bell, all these different bells, and it shows about the reason for the bell. Why the bell was actually made was only to really started making bells so they can catch slaves. When slaves would run away, they'll ring a bell because it'd be so loud. The vibration it tells it can go from town to town that there's a slave running from one town to the next. Okay, so everything Esau have done, he's done on the backs of our affliction, you know. And then they try to pass it off like, oh, it's all good, just like the Star Spangled Banner song. Oh, we only read the first, but when you go down, you read more into it, you start seeing the sinisterness. Then you see the wickedness of Esau. You see what he actually really truly feels about you, but they try to cover up. They try to fake it now. They want to make it a wholesome song. Oh, it's about Christmas, and it was never originally about that. It was something that was performed during Thanksgiving somewhere in Savannah, Georgia. All right. But let me go here, and it was it only came about because of slavery and because of the slaves being and being caught by the slave catcher. All right, so but right here, let me get this scripture. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go here, and this is my first scripture. I'm gonna hit. This is my first scripture here. All right, I'm gonna start off with this. This is Psalms 138. This is Psalms 138 and 1. I will praise thee with my whole heart. Before the gods will I sing praise unto thee. I will worship towards thy holy temple and praise thy name thy name for thy love kindness and for thy truth. For thou hast magnified thy word above all thy names. In the day when I cried, thou awarenest me and strengthenest me with strength in my soul. All the kings of the earth shall praise thee, O Lord, power Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, when they hear the words of thy mouth. Yea, they shall sing in the ways of the Lord, power Yahweh Bashim Al Shai, for great is the glory of the Lord. Though the Lord be high, yet have he respect unto the lowly, but the proud he knoweth afar off. Though I walk in the midst of trouble, thou will revive me. And that's what we are. We're being revived because we're in the midst of trouble, because we're in this devil's captivity. He makes light of our affliction. He's making fun of us. He's having a mockery of it. He's built his kingdom off the backs of the slaves, off the backs of the Lord's people, blood, sweat, and tears. Okay, thou shalt stretch forth thine hand against the wrath of my enemies. That's right, and thy right hand shall save me, because it's salvation, it's righteousness. The Lord Yahweh Shema Shai will perfect that which concerneth me. Thy mercy, O Lord, power Yahweh Shema Shai, endureth forever. Forsake not the works of thine own hands. And the work of his hands is us. It's the 140, chiefly the 144,000. So we ask the Lord not to let us go, not to leave us astray, to put back all the curses upon all these wicked nations for all this wicked shit they've done to us over the years, right? Over the, like I say, 500 plus years, these devils has had us in this captivity from coming through the Atlantic slave trade, right? So right here, let me go here. That was just my first I want to start with. But here, this is I want to go here. This is Ezekiel chapter 35. I'm gonna start at 1. This is Ezekiel 35 and 1. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. And that's what we're doing. And say unto it, Thus saith the Lord, power Yahweh Shema Shai, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. And that's when I just read Psalms 138 at the end. So it asked the Lord to stretch out his hand against the wicked nations, right? Stretch out his hand against Esau, Edom, and the heathen nations. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord power Yahweh Bashim Shai. Why? Because thou hast had an perpetual hatred. Okay. And this right here, that picture of that young Jake with the bells jingling and ringling, right? When he would run and trying to get free, the bells would jingle and ringle, and them devils would catch him, castrate him, beat him to death, shoot, do whatever, feed him to the dogs. They would do any and everything that they could possibly do to our people in that time to humiliate, to dehumanize, right? To dehumanize our people, to make us as a Lord than an animal, right? So that's perpetual hatred, to put a collar on a man, right, on his neck, and to have him as a slave, and also the fact that these are the chosen people of the Lord, right? So because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. So there was an end to our suffering. There was an end to our slavery. Was that devil Lincoln, uh, so-called called himself freeing the slaves, right, in the 1800s, and what happened? They still ended up in slavery, right? The slavery really didn't end. Hell, it has ended. Physical side of slavery, but has that even ended? Because now you're just a wage slave, and then you would be the lowest paid slave, lowest paid wage slave on earth. So your slavery, your captivity hasn't ended. You're still in it. Okay, it's just switched. They just switched to change the game, right? They made it look like one thing, but it's one thing, but they made it look like another, right? So therefore, verse 6, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Now that's why they're in the wars now that they're in. That's why the death is ringing at their doorsteps. Sitteth thou, damn, Salakia. All right, there you go. All right, since thou hast not hated blood, right, and they love blood, they even love to eat it, raw animals, drink it, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir, Esau, Edom, most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains with his slain men. That's right. His governments, his high places. In thy hills and in thy valleys, and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. So it's going to be a great murdering, a great killing from the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai upon Esau Edom. I will make thee perpetually desolate, and thy city shall not return, and ye shall know that I am the Lord power Yahweh Shema Shai, because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, meaning northern kingdom and southern kingdom, and will possess it, whereas the Lord was there. Therefore, because you come over here, who was over here when they came and possessed it? The northern kingdom. They came and took so-called America. Who they take it from? They took it from the northern kingdom. They took this land from the Gadites. They took it from the so-called Mexicans, the so-called North American Indians, right? They took it from them, from Ephraim, okay? And then they came and brought Judah over here and put us in heavy captivity, right? In heavy slavery, in the most brutal slavery that's been known to man, okay? Because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas the Lord was there. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord power Yahweh, I will even do according to thine anger and according to thine envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them. And I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee. And thou shalt know that I am the Lord power Yahweh Shema Shai, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies, which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel. That's the government of Israel, right? The head of Israel, chiefly, sorry, with Yahushua, saying to they are laid desolate. They are given us to consume. See, we wasn't given for you to consume. The Lord led us out of captivity. The Lord didn't want us to go through. He only wanted to put us through a certain amount of captivity, and we were to be freed. Thus, with your mouth ye have boasted against me, and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them. See, so the Lord heard, hear, and know everything you devils say. Thus saith the Lord Paul Yahweh Shemal Shai, when the whole earth rejoice, I will make thee desolate. As thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, even all of it. And they shall know that I am the Lord Power Yahweh Shemal Shai. So when you read Ezekiel 35, the Lord is telling you that he's coming to fuck Esau up. That Esau is going to have to pay back for all the jingling rail, the neck collars, all the slavery, all the brutal slavery that we went through. It still got to be paid for. That's still got to that's still got to be paid back, right? There's still a payback. It has never been paid back all these in all this time. Okay, and this is right quick. I want to hit Zechariah. This is Zechariah chapter 1, verse 15, which I'm probably going to start up. And 14. This is for Zechariah 1 and 14. So the angel that consumed with me said unto me, cry thou, saying, thus saith the Lord Power Yahweh Bashimal Shai of hosts. That word host go back to armies. I am jealous for Jerusalem and for Zion with a great jealousy. You know, the whole kingdom, the southern and northern kingdom. And I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease, for I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction. See, like I said earlier, they forwarded that slavery. They kept slavery going, and still to this day, we're here in this devil's hand. Right? Read the rest of that. That's good. That's a beautiful verses. You keep going down. Okay, so the Lord is still displeased with this devil, with all the wickedness that this devil's put upon Israel, Yasha'Allah, and made mockery of us, and made fun of us, put us on minstrel shows, and dressed up in so-called what you call blackface, and singing different songs, eating watermelon, and doing all these different. I mean, the minstrel show was huge. It was so much different shit going on that the so-called white man was doing. You got a guy called Amos and Andy. They had that shit on TV, but it was first it started off as a radio show with two jakes with two big watermelon ass heads and big ass lips and dark ass skin and pink ass lips, big huge gigantic pink ass lips, and you know, and the shit was in cartoons. It was in old Bugs Bunnies, and I mean, you can just look. I mean, it's all over, man. So this devil has made a mockery of our slavery. This devil has made fun of our afflictions for all this time. He's afflicted us and he's put us through hell, and he's enjoyed himself, enjoyed putting us through those afflictions. Okay. This is Psalm 73 and 1. Truly, Power Yahweh is good to Israel, even to such as are of a clean heart. But as for me, my feet were almost gone. My steps had well nigh slipped. For I was envious at the foolish, so-called Esau Edom, right? The so-called white man. He's the foolish. When I saw the prosperity of the wicked, and look at them, they got it all. They got it all. You go to America, you go anywhere to any suburb outside of it, man, $400,000-$500,000 houses, man, they got it all. You got the beautiful, they're in all the best parts of the land. Yeah, you got Jacobson mixed here and there, but the majority of it, the so-called white man's his land is he's done took it. He done taken it over from Gad, and he put Judah here, and has conquered and has enjoyed his time. Right? For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their depths. They're not getting stopped. There's no holding them back. But their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men. Right? You go through all through history, and the most men here in American history, the most trouble has come to a so-called black man here in America. Right? The so-called white man never has that kind of trouble. Right? Neither are they plagued like other men. Therefore, pride compasses them about as a chain. Violence covers them as a garment. right? Look at all the hangings, the lynching, the murdering, the rape, the robbery of our people. Their eyes stand out with fatness. They have more than heart could wish. They are corrupt and speak wickedly concerning oppression. And this is speaking wickedly concerning oppression. These coming up with all these songs, these minstrel shows, that's speaking wickedly of concerning the oppression of our people. Okay. They speak loftily. See, they set their mouth against the heavens and their tongue walketh through the earth. Okay. Therefore, his people return hither, and waters of a full cup are wrung out to them. And they say, how doeth Yahweh know? And is there knowledge in the Most High? Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches. Esau, Edom, right? They increase in their riches. You go to the 1%. When you talk about this guy, James Pierre, his, like I say, he's the uncle of the other Pierre, John Pierre, whatever, James Pierre, whatever the other Pierre, JP Morgan, which now we know him as JP Morgan Chase, the financier. Okay. So they advance in their riches, what? Through what? Slavery. Okay. Through the captivity of our people, of the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, they prospered. Their prosperity has blossomed. Okay. Uh, Behold, these are the ungodly who prosper in the world. They increase in riches. Verily, I have cleansed my heart in vain and washed my hands in innocency. For all the day long have I been plagued and chastised every morning. And that's how it is for Israel. It's always some shit. Shit is never right. If I say I will speak thus, behold, I should offend against the generations of thy children. When I thought to know this, it was too painful for me. Until I went into a secret of Yahweh Bashim Shai, then understood I their end. Then I understood. See, so when we're going to the secrets in the scriptures, going through history, and then the scriptures, understanding who the Lord is referring to in the scriptures, right? Who the Lord loves and who the Lord despises. Okay. Surely did set them, surely thou didst set them in a slippery place. Thou castest them down into destruction. How are they brought into desolation? As in a moment, right? That's going to be the missiles coming. They are utterly consumed with terror, and that terror is going to be the nuclear missiles, ICBM missiles, okay, with the nuclear warheads on it. And then the angels will come in afterwards. How are they brought, Yahushua and the angels, how are they brought into desolation as in a moment? They are utterly consumed with terrors. As a dream when one awaketh. So, O Lord, power Yahweh Shem Shai, when thou awakest, thou shalt despise their image. See? Thus my heart was grieved and I was pricked in my reins. And you want to know who the wicked is? When you go back to Malachi, I tell you that Esau Edom is the border of wickedness. Okay, Esau, you go back to Esau Edom, they're the ones with the red that have red skin. And the only people on this earth with red skin is so-called who you call the so-called white people today. They face get bloodshot red within a second. A lot of them already just you look at them, just you can see the red tints. A lot of them got more of a pale. Then you have those that's more of a paler feature, lighter pink, light pink, dark pink to almost to that beet red, and then you have those that are very, especially ones in the colder states. A lot of them have more of a paler complexion. Okay, but you see the red, you see the red, and it shows forth through their skin. Okay, so they're not so-called white; they're actually red people. Okay, so thus my heart was grieved, and I was pricked in my reins. So foolish was I, and ignorant. I was as a beast before thee. Nevertheless, I am continually with thee. Thou hast holden me by my right hand, which is goes back to righteousness on the right side. Thus thou shalt guide me with thy counsel, and afterward receive me to glory. Whom have I in heaven but thee? And there is none upon the earth that I desire besides thee. I know that's right, because ain't nothing here but filthiness. My flesh and my heart faileth, but Yahweh Bashim Shai is the strength of my heart, if you're mine, and my portion forever. For lo, they that are far from thee shall perish. Thou hast destroyed all them that go a whoring from thee. But it is good for me to draw near to the power of Yahweh Bashim Shai. I have put my trust in the Lord, power of Yahweh. that I may declare all thy works. Okay, I just always like to read the full chapters when I go into, especially the Psalms. It's just, it's just so much in there that's, it's just right. It's beautiful. Okay, all right. So right here, I'm gonna go here. And so for all this shit that Esau Edom has done to us, right? They gotta pay that back, right? That's gotta be paid back. So all this shit gotta be paid back, right? Because the Lord requires that which is past. Okay. So um uh yep, here we go. This is Jeremiah 16. This is Jeremiah chapter 16. Um Yep. This is Jeremiah 16. I'm starting at 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, power Yahweh Shemel Shah, that it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, which is Babylon, aka America, from all the lands whither he have driven them. And I will bring, and only people been driven to all across the whole world by slavery has been the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American, Seminole Indians. The Atlantic slave trade has been that triangular slave trade. As it went from the West Banks of Africa, is also went into Europe, from Europe down to the Americas. So that slave trade and even before we have been over in the East, we were being had to go through different captivities. So we've been pushed out to all four winds of the earth. Okay. And we're the only people on this earth that's been pushed out to, we're the only people on the earth that don't have a land. We are the only people on the earth. How you fit the scriptures? Because these Israelites will not have a land. These Israelites will be pushed out of their land. When the Lord comes back, he'll come back to save them. And that's, I just read it. The Lord going to not bring us up from Egypt, but the one bring us up from the north country. Meaning the Lord people, when he come back, when Yahweh Shema Shai comes back, his people will be in the four corners of the earth, all over the earth. He will have to bring them back to their land. They're not in their land. And the only people in this world that has no government, has no hills, no mountains, no government, is the so-called black man, Latino, Native American, Seminole Indians. And so we have no actual land, right? Because other people has come in, which meaning Esau, Edom, and the heathen nations has come in and taken over our inheritance. Okay. Verse 15. But the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north and from all the lands whither he have driven them. And I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers. And so who will be the people that don't have a land that the Lord will bring back? So-called Negroes. Okay. The southern and northern kingdom. Okay. Of Israel. Behold, I will send for many fanners, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them. And after I will send for many hunters. Sorry, I'm slacking. I read that wrong. This is 16. Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them. And we fishing now, right? Start with elder apostles and starting with their elders, apostles, elder Bivens on down, right? They were fishing, and we're still fishing, right? And as the Lord come back, we're gonna start hunting. Okay. And after will I send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill, and out of the holes of the rocks. And that's when Esau Edom is running to the holes of the rocks, when going to the caves, when they go into their bunkers, right? When the shit hits the fans, we can see right now what they're doing. They're building bunkers all over the earth, because Russia's got everybody in a frenzy. Iranians got everybody in a frenzy, and they all running scared because why? Because the shit is hitting the fan. Okay. Salaki right quick. Let me Salaki.
Those poor people.
There we go. Those poor people. That's right. Okay. All right. Because who's the Lord come to save, man? Who on this earth need to be saved? Like he just said, those poor people.
were trying to flee, and the owners heard the sound coming off the jingle bells. They searched after them on
See, so-called white
one
man
horizontal
chasing them
sleigh.
on an open
Now
sleigh.
you know and understand the origin of the song called Jingle Bells on the one horse open sleigh by
Okay, so those people, right? Those people right there that's been going through captivity, right? That were in slavery, right? So the Lord is going to turn 144,000 into hunters, right? And from every hill and out of the holes of the rocks. For mine eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face, neither is their iniquity hid from mine eyes. And first I will recompense their iniquity and their sins double, because they have defiled my land. Who's defiled the land now? It's the so-called white man. Amalek is over there now. They have filled mine inheritance with the carcasses of their desolate and abominable things, right? Oh Lord, my power, Yahweh Shai, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction. The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. See, so when the shit hit the fan and after everything starts to come out, when the Lord come back and they see the Lord crack the skies, and he's a so-called black man with woolly hair, and all the angels are all dark-skinned, they are going to understand that everything they've done was wrong. Every so-called so-called black man or Mexican speaker, whatever you want to call us, they're gonna drop to their knees and they're gonna beg, and they're gonna beg mercy, because they're gonna say their fathers gave them lies. And like just like this song of Jingle Bells, these are fucking lies. They tell all these goddamn lies to their people, to their, and their children have a good time, thinking it's a merry time, thinking it's meaning a good thing, when they have a sinister ass meaning, when they know all the origination of these things came from a perpetual hatred against the Lord's chosen people. Okay, so when they find that out, they're gonna cry and say, "Oh Lord, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction," right? Or they not gonna say this is Israel will say that part. I mean, we'll say the Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth. Okay, so that's Israel talking. That's Yashala talking the first part of that. Right? We're saying the Gentiles, we're telling the oh Lord, because Lord is our strength, the Lord is our fortress, the Lord is our refuge, okay, our affliction. Okay, then the Gentiles, which is the so-called white man and heathen nations, shall come, which is go back to the heathen nation is the Iranians, the Arabics, the which are the mixed race, the Arabics, the Elamites, Elam, the East Indians, and all them Turks, all them mixed races up all up in there. The Hamite, the so-called the real what you would call Africans, the Hamites, the put in his brothers, okay, the Ethiopians and all them, Moab, Chinese, Ammon, Japanese, right? A lot of the Koreans, right? North and South Koreans, some of the Philippines, and some of the Viet, all them nations, man. Okay, the Asian nations, they and because a lot of them, once again, because we are in the four corners of the earth, so coming out, we're gonna get some people, believe it or not, come out of China. That's gonna be our people. Japan's gonna be our people. Some of them gonna come out of probably a lot of them gonna come out of the Philippines. It's gonna be our people. It's probably a lot of Philippines, and it's gonna be. I'm pretty sure it's a lot. I know it's a lot. A lot of Philippines is gonna be because they went through a heavy slavery as well, and mixing mingling through over the years is over the generations. The Thais and like Thailand and shit. All those other nations, they gonna, a lot of them gonna end up being Israelites. Okay, they gonna look like the other nations, but they're gonna be, but they forefathers, their fathers is gonna go back to a so-called black man or southern and northern kingdom. Okay, Um, so the Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies. Vanity, it has surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit. Right? There was no profit for Esau Edom to have this blessing. It was a void profit. It was no good when he cried for it back to kill his brother Jacob, right? When he cried over saying Jacob stole a blessing, which he gave it up himself. He just gave it to his brother because he was hungry for that pottage meat. Okay, shall a man make gods unto himself, and they are no gods? Therefore, behold, I will this once cause them to know. I will cause them to know mine hand and my might, and they shall know that my name is Yahweh, the power Yahweh Shema Shah, the Lord. Right? So let me grab another scripture. Let me grab this other scripture here. Yeah, I'm gonna close off on let me see, I got this scripture. I'm gonna close. Oh no, okay, yeah. So yep, this is Exodus 21 and 16. That's what I'm on. Exodus 21 and 16. And he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he had, or if he slack it, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. So on this picture, these men, these so-called Negroes, Latino Native Americans, they were stolen from their land, right? And they're still in their captives' hands, in the land that they captive stole from their brothers, right, from the Northern Kingdom, right? So they murdered and raped and robbed hundreds of millions of Gadites, raped and robbed hundreds of millions of Negroes, Latino, Native Americans, right? Took them, stole them, put them in captivity, made them worship them, put them to work for them as slaves, got free slavery off of them, then put them back into work for them as wage slaves, and still building their country off their backs. So yeah, you gotta pay that shit back. Okay, because we're still here. All right, still here in this fucking captivity. Okay. So, and he that stealeth a man, go back to slavery, like Atlantic slave trade, and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. See? So we're still here under the hand of the so-called white man of the original. Doesn't matter if it wasn't them or not, it's still their children, right? Their children are still here, and their children still make money off our backs, and they still go to the music, they steal it, they rob from us, they take the music. You go from countless old school songwriters and shit. They stole, Elvis stole so many ways. I mean, you go through countless, almost everything has been stolen from our people that we have originated here in America. So you can go through even just music, TLC, New Edition, multiple. Even before them, there was so many guys getting robbed for their music, they song rights and in their character. Hell, they just took Kanye West's image and likeness. They took Prince's image and likeness. So they rob and steal from us. They still rob and stealing from us on the daily, still to this day. Okay, so this right here, let me see which one is this. Let me see. Boom. No, I don't want that one. Let me see. All right, yep. So all right, so you know what? Let me end off on this. This is Ezekiel. No. This is Numbers. Yeah, let me end off on Numbers. This is Numbers 35 and 33. Right? So ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein. So how much blood is defiled in America, in so-called America, in Babylon? Think about the bloodshed that's been put upon in America, all from the conception of America, from the moment it started, the slaughtering of the so-called North American Indians, from them to Judah and to all the rest of the Israelites that's here, and still to this day, the blood that's put upon this earth, that this land has been suffering. Okay, so ye shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood it defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that shed it. So hey, with that said, I'm Yaquan from YSO, Yahushua Sanctified Ones, a ball. Kwam Yashala, keep pushing, don't stop, don't quit, keep striving. Hey, the truth is already out. The truth is there. We just got to go search and find it. Look it up, be wise, and keep teaching, keep pushing. We almost out of here. Hey, Shalom and the Baba. I hope this was edifying to somebody.